Hi and welcome to the small scape. Today's video is short, it's sweet. Well, sweet if you like fish and or plants, which of course I do and you probably do too. This is kind of like a little story of my day at the fish swap last weekend, where there is tons of inspiration because not only is it a cool fish swap, but it's also located at a really cool greenhouse. So let's take a look. Hopefully you enjoy it half as much as I did. Well, here we are at the Birdhaven greenhouse, and yes, let's start with the fish. Yes, I got suckered in to looking at the discus. Oh boy, these may be in my future at some point. I do have some favorites, like this one. I believe it's called a blue diamond. And there are other ones that I have that just one of them is prettier than the next one. And another one of my favorites is the turquoise, and this one I call it a sunset. I don't know what it's called, but that's what I call them. And they're on the left. There we go. The turquoise. Of course, it's like my favorite color, so that doesn't help my situation. But we did actually see some beautiful angelfish. Who doesn't love angelfish? And especially the smoky leopard. Love that one. And FYI, we did get some fish much smaller than these that you will be seeing in a build coming up. This is my new friend Teresa. She was kind enough to make these stuffed little bettas, adorable, and she also loves flamingos like I do. And here is what I call the driftwood guy. I spent a lot of time at this booth, and it didn't help that it was right next to our booth. I spent a lot of time there. And he has lots of fun little baggies, which I got a few baggies of tiny driftwood. And then when you go outside, this is the great thing about this swap, you can go into a greenhouse that is free. I highly recommend it if you're ever in the area to head on out there because it is relaxing, it's beautiful, and inspiring. They have garden space throughout multiple rooms with fascinating little plants everywhere, and then they have multiple ponds. So for those of us who love ponds, you will want to spend a nice bit of time there, and they're nice little benches sitting and viewing the ponds and getting lots of inspiration for your spaces. And of course, like me, if you're anything like me, you're going to want to create miniature versions of all these spaces. This was my favorite room probably because, yes, look at that waterfall, and all these plants are ginormous. Every pond had koi fish, which is relaxing right there just to watch them, and a lot of king tuts and hydrocodal. That's when there's a lot of that in these ponds, and that's when I realized I must have that in my life. So yes, I hopped onto Etsy and ordered some hydrocodal for myself. It's a money plant. It's got many different names, but it likes to be immersed, great in ponds, and I think you might see them in some aquariums coming up. This is a ginormous corkscrew valve that I got, and of course some frog bit and the Rickia that you just saw in my last video. I'll link it if you haven't seen it yet. And two beautiful coffee folias, which you will be seeing some point very soon too. And then some other plants that I got here that you will be seeing, but I'm not going to really talk about that yet. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, it was just a really short little bunch of snippets of everything cool that I saw. And I think that you can get inspiration pretty much anywhere you're at, even at a fish swap or a greenhouse, of course. But it even inspired me to get some plants off of Etsy that I had not been able to get before. So really excited to bring you some really cool plants coming up soon. And like I said in the video, there are a couple plants that I didn't tell you really what they are because it's a secret. So you'll have to stay tuned to see some pretty sweet builds, if I may say so myself. Very exciting, because who doesn't love aquatic plants, right? So thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope you have a great day.